many years ago, there was an emperor. He was so exceedingly fond of new clothes that he spent all his money on being well dressed and fixing his hair. He cared nothing about reading books. He cared nothing for learning or caring or sharing. He only liked to show off his new clothes and his hair. In the great city where he lived, life was always exciting. Every day, many strangers came to town. And among them, one day came a swindler. He let it be known he was a weaver and a fashion designer, a big celebrity, and that he could weave the most magnificent fabrics imaginable. Not only were his colors and patterns uncommonly fine, but clothes made of this cloth had a wonderful way of becoming invisible. But only invisible to anyone who is unfit for office or a fool. People who are fit for office can see these amazing clothes. The emperor thought those would be just the clothes for me. If I wore them, I would be able to discover which other people in my empire are unfit for their posts, and could tell the wise from the fools. To the weaver, he said, yes, I certainly must get clothes woven from that magic cloth right away. To start at once, he paid the swindler a large sum of money. The swindler set up a loom and pretended to weave the cloth, though there was nothing on the loom. All the finest silk went into his suitcases for future pieces, while he worked on the empty loom, far into the night. So the emperor thought, I'd like to know how this weaver is doing with the cloth. But he felt uncomfortable when he remembered that those who were unfit for their position would not be able to see the fabric. The emperor would not dare show that he doubted himself, ever. He said to himself, I can never show weakness. I know. I'll send someone else to see how things are going. I'll send my honest old friend, my chief officer, to the weaver. He'll be the best one to tell me how the material looks, for he's a sensible man, and no one is more loyal to me. Loyalty is everything. So the emperor's chief officer went to where the swindler sat working at his empty loom. He thought to himself, heaven, help me! I can't see anything at all. But he did not say so. The swindler begged him to be kind, come near to approve the excellent pattern and the beautiful colors. He pointed to the empty loom. The poor chief officer stared as hard as he could, but he could not see anything. He thought to himself, heaven, have mercy. Can it be that I'm a fool? Am I unfit to be chief officer and serve this emperor? It would never do for anyone to know that I cannot see the cloth. The weaver said, don't hesitate to tell me what you think of it. Oh, it's beautiful. It's enchanted, said the chief officer. Such a pattern. What colors? I'll be sure to tell the emperor how delighted I am with it. I am so pleased to hear that, the swindler said. The swindler at once asked for more money to continue with the weaving. But it all went into his pockets. Not a thread went into the loom. though he worked at his weaving as hard as ever. All the town was talking about the splendid cloth, and the emperor wanted to see it for himself, while it was still in the loom. The emperor set out to see the swindler. The emperor found him weaving with might and speed, but without a thread in his loom. "What's this?" thought the emperor to himself. "I can't see anything. This is terrible. Am I a fool? Am I unfit to be the emperor? What a thing to happen to me!" So out loud he said, "Oh, it's very pretty. The cloth has my highest approval. It's the best, the greatest, perfect for me. I only want the best and greatest." He looked closer at the empty loom. Nothing could make him admit that he could not see anything. Everyone around the emperor insisted he wear the clothes made of this wonderful cloth. "Especially for the grand parade! Magnificent! Excellent!" said all the people around the emperor. So thankful, the emperor gave the swindler a badge of honor to wear, and the title of Sir Weaver. At that, the swindler pretended to take the cloth off the loom and made cuts in the air with huge scissors. And at last he said, "Now the emperor's new clothes are ready." The swindler raised his arm as if he was holding something. He said, "These are the trousers, here's the coat, and this is the tie. All of them are as light as a spider web. One would almost think he had nothing on, but that's what makes him so fine." "If your imperial majesty will agree to take your clothes off," said the swindler, "I will help you on with your new ones." The emperor undressed, and the swindler pretended to put his new clothes on him, one garment after another. "How well your majesty's new clothes look," said the emperor's court. "That pattern, so perfect, it is a magnificent outfit." Then the minister of public announcements exclaimed, "Emperor, everything is ready to take you to the grand parade." The emperor turned again for one last look in the mirror. "It is a remarkable fit, isn't it?" The emperor's assistants made the finishing touches, pretending to even out his trousers and adjust his tie and coat. They didn't dare admit they had nothing to fix. So off went the emperor to the grand parade. Everyone in the street said, "Oh, how fine are the emperor's new clothes! Don't they fit him to perfection? What fabric! The best! The greatest!" Nobody would confess that they could not see anything. No costume the emperor had worn before was ever such a complete success. But one little child stepped forward, who didn't know anything about the magic invisible clothes, and said, "But the emperor has no clothes. Help me. You say it too. The emperor has no clothes.
The emperor has no clothes. The emperor has no clothes."
The emperor shivered, for he suspected everybody was right. But he thought, this grand parade has got to go on. So he lifted his head even higher and walked more proudly than ever, with nothing on at all.
Please give it up for the Emperor's new clothes.